So this is going to be kind of an adventure because I have over 20 books, and I mean, it's just a library haul, but each book is only going to have to get like 10 seconds because otherwise this entire thing is going to be like 20 minutes long, and that's just not okay because, I mean, I don't want to watch an entire 20-minute long video very often. You probably don't want to watch a 20-minute long library haul because that would get kind of monotonous and boring. So, anyway, I'm gonna keep talking this fast, so let's do this. First, I have Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard by Rick Riordan. I'm really excited to read this book. It's the first book in the Sword of Summer series. And I've heard that other characters make slight cameos in it, as Annabeth and Percy. Right? Yeah? I'm excited to read this book. I don't know exactly how it's written. Apparently it's in first person. That makes me really excited because the thing that I didn't like about the Hero of Olympus series was because it wasn't in first person point of view, and so we didn't get a lot of Percy's humor. Next I have Armada by Ernest Cline. This is also by the author of Ready Player One, which I liked, not as much as other people liked. This book is just... but I'm still excited to read it, but I've heard that it's been getting some iffy kind of reviews. Next I have Dead Upon a Time by Elizabeth Paulson. I have no idea what this is about, but it's got a creepy cover. Next I have Mirrored by Alex Flynn, and she tends to write twists on fairy tales. I think this must be Snow White because there's a mirror. Then I have The Rose Society by Marie Lu, and this is the sequel to The Young Elites, and I'm really excited to read this book because I really enjoyed the Young Elites, and I don't exactly remember what happened, but I remember there being really cool powers. Next I have one by Sarah Crossan, and it's about a pair of conjoined sisters. So I am pretty excited to read this because it's a subject matter that I haven't ever read anything about. So I hope it's accurate-ish. I don't really know. Wow, I'm excited to read this one. I have Queen of Shadows, finally, by Sarah J. Maas, and this has gotten super good reviews, like absolutely amazing, and I'm really excited to read it. Next I have Edgewater by Courtney Shenmel. I'm so sorry about my pronunciation of your last name, but this does not seem like a book I would read normally, and I don't remember what my thoughts were when I was putting it on hold, but I'm gonna read it anyway. Next I have Infinite in Between by Carolyn Mackler. It's realistic fiction, and it's like 5 teenagers wrote letters to themselves, and then it's what happened in between, I guess, when they received the letters, maybe? So, I don't know. I'll read it soon-ish. Next I have Cold Burn of Magic by Jennifer Estep. I read the summary and I still have no idea what this is about, but it's got pretty colors on the cover. And I have Zeros by Scott Westerfield. I didn't like the Ugly series, unlike a lot of other people that I know, but this one sounded pretty interesting, so I'm going to read it anyway. This is Deceptive by Emily Lloyd Jones. It's the sequel to Elusive, which I vaguely remember reading, and I remember what the characters were, and I remember what it was about, but every single time that I see this book, I have to remind myself what Elusive was about, because the title is not making a connection with the plot or the characters in my mind. Like, something is missing in my brain for that connection. Next I have Violent Ends by a bunch of people that are not listed on the cover. This is my more serious read of the month. It's told in 17 points of view, and it's, I guess, discovering how a teenager could go into his school with a gun. And then I have The Scorpion Rolls by Erin Bow, and there's scorpions all over this chair, which I just realized and are kind of freaking me out. Wishes, get off my elbow. My cat is on my elbow right now. Stop. Do you want to come say hi? Come say hi. Look, it's my kitty. She does not like that. The next book that I have is Every Other Day by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I really like Jennifer Lynn Barnes' books. That is a tongue twister. I really like her books, and I usually read like the murder mystery sort of ones, but this one is about a 16-year-old girl whose like other job besides being a student at school is killing and hunting supernatural creatures. The next book I have is Half a Creature from the Sea by David Almond. I think this book wins the coolest cover award for this video because like there's two layers. So there's the title and then this pinkish sort of stuff, and then there's the seaweedy, fishy things. And that's just, it's really cool. Oh no, wait, these are feet. There's feet. And it's labeled as A Life in Stories. So it's pretty short. The sun is really bright on my face right now. The next book I have is The Many Lives of John Stone by Linda Buckley Archer. And from the summary, I have gained that it is a historical mystery. Told from the point of view of a girl who works in a historical society building thing. Do historical societies have buildings? The next book I have is The Unquiet by Michaela Everett, and it also might win the most amazing looking cover ever because there's two trees. I don't know if you can see this. There's a really bad glare. Here we go. There's two trees and there is a house bouncing off of them. And I think it is because the book premise is that there are two worlds that are nearly exactly like each other. So we have the two trees. And there are people in them too. Look. They're little people. And then the house. And last but not least, I have The Paying Guests by Sarah Waters. I'm really excited to read this book. I keep saying that. This is a good haul, people. This is a good haul. It's set in London. I remember looking at the synopsis on Goodreads and just being like, oh my god, I have to read this book. Because it's one of those ones where there's a bunch of characters and they're like all living in the same building, and then there's all these like webs of secrets and lies and stuff, and that's really interesting. So this book, it's also the cover is entirely black and white except for this blue writing. Apparently Sarah Waters has also written The Little Stranger and Fingersmith. I don't know what that is. So that's it for the library haul. Making the thumbnail for this video is going to be really interesting because I don't think all of the books are going to be able to fit in the screen. But I will try. Yeah, that's about it. Bye!